You're locked in to the hottest station on the planet.
Resistance is futile. The revolution has begun.
You're listening to Rebelpreneur Radio, helping you break the rules and build the business you need for the life you want. And now, broadcasting his pirate signal
from somewhere beyond the status quo,
here's your host, best-selling author, marketing and media strategist, Ralph Brogden.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Rebelpreneur Radio, the show that helps you build the business you need so you can live the life you want. I'm Ralph Brogden. I'm a really big fan of anyone who can take their mess and turn it into a message, a powerful message of hope and healing. And today's guest is going to give you the inspiration you need to overcome whatever personal challenges you may be facing so that you can truly live the life you were meant to live. Joining me is Kelly Benamati. She is a holistic wellness and family solutions expert as well as a behavioral specialist. That's a mouthful. She is a healing touch practitioner and the author of 4 books and 2 guides. She is a contributing expert at successfastlane.com and a featured coach and writer / blogger at healthguild.org. Kelly, welcome to Rebelpreneur Radio.
Thank you so much for asking me to be on your show. It is an honor.
Now, Kelly, you counsel women with alcohol and addiction issues. You have 2 college degrees specializing in child development, family studies, behavioral sciences, and clinical psychology. I have a similar background. Mine is psychology and marketing. So we're both interested in human behavior. And as I like to say, most consumers are humans. And so marketing and psychology kind of goes together. But you're working on in an area where you're trying to help people with alcohol addiction and all the life controlling issues that come from those things. Tell us, how did you get started doing this? What's your story?
Well, first of all, I was in a abusive marriage. And because of all of the situations that I encountered, I turned to alcohol to numb the abuse that I was enduring. And once I decided to get up the nerve to leave my ex-husband, I threw myself into an AA program. And I started from there because pain was a great teacher for me, unfortunately. And I went through a horrific custody battle. And during that time, I was able to use my degrees, not just my experience, to help women with the 12-step program and get them on a healing path. I do also have a healing touch certification, and that does help us clear our energy fields and bring them back into balance. And we see that a lot, not just women in the program, but, everybody in this earth is affected by stress. And so we see a lot of people come in and they were desolate and down to nothing and they had hit rock bottom, and, everyone's bottom is different. And so I took that and I started my blog and started my journey in, teaching other people how to live a vibrant life in a toxic-free environment using my psychology background.
So tell us more about the Healing Touch practitioner. What do you do with that, and how is that different from say, the conventional counseling or the other more, I guess, traditional approaches?
Well, we use a all-natural approach to, healing our patients or ourselves. And when we were in the environment with my ex-husband, I noticed my children, we were becoming very brain fogged. We were very stressed. We were unable to focus, moodiness, that sort of thing. For myself, I had low sex drive and constipation, wasn't able to sleep. And so during 2009, when I was married, a practitioner, a doctor paid for me to get a healing touch practitioner certification. And it was 17 hours, gruesome work, but it was beneficial to us because we start with our hands and we use the hands to heal our bodies and clear energy fields. So I started using that on my children and myself, and we just what we call raking energy fields to eliminate stress from our bodies. We start from the top of our heads all the way down to our toes. And we first come into balance, and then we use that to heal. And then I also use the approach of the all-natural medicine. And so once we start to use that, we start to see symptomatic dissipate. And because I'd already worked in integratives for a long time, I got to see patients get well with the practices that I was following. And then I got to use that on my children. And that's how I just started in the field. It's really fascinating work. A lot of people don't believe in it until they start to see their systems, their symptomatics go away.
Very, very interesting. So tell us more about the type of people that would benefit from this. Who do you help, and who is your ideal prospect? Who would be a good person to work with that would respond well to these sorts of treatments?
Honestly, everybody. I have not encountered one person, especially because of my age. I'm 40, a middle-aged woman. Having those low sex drives just due to our environment, the toxicities that we encounter, our schedules, balancing, trying to balance work and life, husbands, on the go or traveling a lot, having a lot of pressure on us. So, and then all the way down to children where, psychologists oftentimes will say that a child is ADHD when we could correct that with the foods we eat. So we would recommend a clean diet where we, straighten up the diet, have non-GMO, the no growth hormones, and learn to starve cancer cells so that those cell formations don't start to grow. And, so everybody can benefit from this lifestyle. And this is why I teach the preventative health, so you don't run to the doctor's offices. You already have the cure yourself.
Very good. Well, I like the holistic approach. And I think people tend to look for one thing that they can find wrong when the truth is, and tell me if you agree, most of the time there are multiple things going on. They overlap. And so it's not a simple solution. It's a holistic approach is probably the best approach. Yes.
Because it isn't a one size fits all. Integrative medicine helps us to look at our physical environments. What do we have going on mentally? Like I've already, recommended the stress that it takes a toll on us socially, our environments, spiritually. What do we have going on that alters our state of being? And then we can directly correlate that to appropriate alternate all-natural therapies in order to regain the optimal health that we're looking for to live a vibrant life. And that's the solution. It's not a one-size-fits-all. You come in and you'll have the same symptoms as somebody else, and I would recommend something completely different for you than I would for, say a female that came in having different, approaches to her wellness.
Yeah, interesting. So you've mentioned stress, and I think probably general anxiety disorder, stress, and just living in the crazy world we live in. Everyone probably struggles with that, and stress is a root issue behind a lot of things going on. But other than stress, is there a common problem that you see popping up over and over again when you're trying to help the people you help? And maybe it is stress, but what would you say is the biggest thing that people are struggling with that they just can't seem to get past on their own?
One of the things that I see most besides stress, because 75% of the doctor's visits are stress-related. I also see people coming, and speaking to me about losing weight. How do I do that? Well, first of all, you go to the grocery store and you buy healthy food. A lot of people think they can still have the 2 liters of soda and not work out and not maintain, their levels of stress, which increases your cortisol level, which will give you a tire around your waist, to be honest, And so we have to throw away, this is the immediate solution. We throw away the food that is making us sick and big. It really sounds like it's very simple, and it really is. You just open your fridge, and if it's not in your fridge or your cabinets or freezer, you can't eat it, So that's a really simple solution. And I'm a big, big believer of putting positive affirmations around the kitchen, in the mirror, you're beautiful. Don't eat that, just one serving size, getting a smaller plate instead of a larger plate. There are so many simple solutions to that. And it's discipline. That's the thing, the key. Yeah. Discipline yourself. You have to have some sort of self-control when you go to those parties at the holidays, not to consume a whole 12-pack. So,
what if I didn't change anything else about my diet or exercise, but I just looked in the mirror every morning and said, "You're beautiful just the way you are"? Would I get to where I want to be?
maybe mentally. I do believe in the self-fulfilling prophecies, but it will not help you to lose and get to your ideal weight.
I thought I had stumbled upon a great secret here.
I wish I could tell you yes. But
so somebody listening to this, what can they begin to do? And I know that every situation is different, but maybe there's a 1, 2, 3 easy self-help process to help them get where they want to be and at least get moving in the right direction. If you were to take someone brand new, what would you have them to start doing?
Exactly what I just described. We go in and we have products in our home that have warning labels. And so because we take a holistic approach to your wellness and vibrancy, we clean up our environment. And so we do that by throwing away anything in our homes that has a warning label. If it has a warning label, it's not safe for us, number one. And number two, it is an endocrine disruptor, meaning that our hormone levels are not going to be stable. So we are going to be moody. We are going to have low sex drive and other things like that. And because of those items, it works on our digestive system. Our bodies are not as toned as they need to be. We're going to be gaining the weight. And so I recommend starting to buy the all-natural products. And we even talk about the deodorants we use. They have aluminum in them, leading to cancers for women being the endocrine disruptors. It's right there in our armpit areas. And even the toothpaste that we use, everything in our home is toxic free. And so I recommend that for, anybody that comes to me. I tell them, go and start changing the way that, the products that you use. Even the cleaning supplies are all natural. You can use vinegar. That's what we use a lot. And then,
even the toothpaste, I gotta look at my toothpaste. So what do I use? Like baking soda, or is there a special kind of toothpaste I could use?
You know what? Tom's is on the market. Jason's is on the market. I use Zija product. I just got, it has whitening in it from the baking soda. You can also use oil. I don't know if you're familiar with coconut oil, but it kind of is a little bit grainy or a little bit like rice. And it's non-GMO. It's free of any toxins, dyes, chemicals, alcohol. And just use that. It's not that expensive. You can use it to cook. I use it for sunscreen. And it's great for a lot of benefits. You can use it for wrinkles, and I don't burn when I use it. So that's another great thing to use. The sunscreens actually, help us accelerate that cancer growth instead of the actual sun itself. Yeah, so it's really...
but that's a relief. At least I don't have to stop brushing my teeth altogether to stay healthy. I just have to change what I'm using, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just tweak a little bit. I know it's expensive, but so is going to the doctor, having surgical procedures, or having, all of the doctor's visits itself, or, and that becomes very expensive, especially with high deductibles today. So I honestly have to say I only go for one annual. I don't go if I'm sick. If I start to feel like I get a little sniffle, I use turmeric, a spice in India that a lot of people use there. It's their number one spice. I start to build up my immune system functioning. There's some alternatives like the neti pod that you can use and just put a little, menthol in it on the stove and open up your passageways. There are just a lot of natural ways that you can use preventatively instead of going to get a 3 or 5 day Z-Pack. And I feel worse after that. So I think our knee-jerk reaction is, I need to take a pill, I need to go to the doctor. But what you're saying is the first step is stop putting poisons in our body and then trying to put medicine in our body. It's like trying to drive down the street with one foot on the gas and one foot on the car, and wondering why you're not getting anywhere. Yes, that's a great analogy. I love that analogy. It is because, that's like, the last resort is to use all natural medicine because they've tried 100 different doctors that do not help them, traditional docs. And part of the problem is that the FDA is in direct, competition with the pharmaceutical company. So the products that we use have, not been regulated by them, but I've seen them work for years. I've been using this since 2009 and studied with the best docs of my area. And And so that has helped me immensely to learn about the products, what, supplements to recommend and how they're used. And then, actually get to see, which we use ourselves as a guinea pig, my children. Like I first mentioned, we were sick from our toxic, divorce and my ex-husband. And so I just started using my knowledge of what I could find readily available. And I saw it working as time went on.
Well, you can't argue with results. If it's life or if it's business, the results speak for themselves. So if the first step is to stop eating and drinking the stuff that's killing us, what would be the next step? Once we clear all of that out, what's the next smart move for us to start doing?
I look at the toxic relationships. And that's even our family members. A lot of them aren't going to support our new lifestyle. They're not going to support us because it's kind of like some of our family members think it's kind of wacky, or what kind of sunscreen are you using? So we have
I love how you transition from that. You transition from toxic products to toxic relationships, and didn't even bat an eye. It's like, yeah, that makes total sense. Get rid of all the toxicity.
Well, is it not true though? I mean, because people make us sick. They do. I mean, it's my
people make me sick all the time.
With the people we surround ourselves can make us or break us. I know you agree with me, or at least I would hope you do, because I see my girlfriends and I know that those few that I can count on, because I'm having a bad day and they're like, did you take your vitamin D and get a walk? They keep you on track. But then there's some of them that are like, they get jealous of your success, or they don't want to see you succeed, or they're whatever it is. And so those relationships are really important, because we can love people from afar, even when they're our family, because some of them just aren't going to like us for whatever reason. And it becomes a vicious cycle that we create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, I'm not good enough. I have low self-esteem, and then that trickles down into every area of our life, making us sick again.
And it's a vicious cycle. I mean, that makes total sense. Mm-hmm. And it's just, when you think about it like that, it all goes together. We got a lot of toxicity going around.
Well, we do, but when we can clean that up, we're happy, healthy, vibrant people. But if you have someone always constantly bashing, or the drama queens, I'm sure people can relate to this even in high school or college. It's like, gosh, we got to get away from him or her, or they're always competing with us. That's even worse. Yeah.
Or how about Facebook and Twitter? I mean, that's kind of like going back to high school, isn't it?
Well, the social media trolls is what I like to call them. So they can make us or break us as well. Like, we were doing good, not allowing the haters to get in and not deleting, blocking, and moving on. But once they creep in, gosh, I'm not really good enough, or maybe I didn't have as good of a month that I thought I did, and they really can wreak havoc on us.
So when I get to this part of the interview, I always like to ask, because in my view, the most difficult part about self-help is helping yourself. Mm-hmm. Self-help would be great if it wasn't so hard. So how would working with someone like you really improve their chances for success? Plus, I mean, you're working with people who have alcohol and addiction issues. I don't think you can self-help your way out of that. Mm-hmm. So how would working with you really help someone, as opposed to saying, well, I'll do it myself, or I'll just try harder next time?
Number one is I'm always authentically myself. So I'm genuine. I care about someone's well-being. I bring hope to the hopeless. So you can come to me, whether it be, the divorce or the custody or your rock bottom, or I've seen people have nothing. They lived in hotels or they were prostitutes. I've seen people come in, doctors who have lost everything, and I offer the solutions in a genuine way. Tough love doesn't work when you've hit rock bottom and everything is taken from your life. The last thing you need is that drill sergeant leader. And I come in and I'm just authentically myself, and that attracts the right people into your life, because not only do I have the experience, but I have the knowledge base, and I tell them from my experience, and then I put the knowledge behind it, and I say, this is how you apply it. I've been there, And I listen to them, and I genuinely listen. And then I say, we have some work to do, and then we take baby steps in going about that, depending on where they are in their recovery, or depending on where they are in, their life in general, or how old they are.
I like that. And that's some people, probably most people, they need that. It's not the thing that I've really been thinking about in the previous weeks. And I interview a lot of people who are very smart and intelligent and knowledgeable about what they do. But I think that to really make a difference in the world, we have to do more than just offer information. We have to offer transformation.
Yes.
And that's where your authenticity can really make the difference in someone's life, as opposed to just handing them a pamphlet and saying, here, go read this.
Yes,
right?
That's right. Because we have what we call, like all docs, or, we say we have a good bedside manner, and we teach them to believe in themselves, that it's going to be okay, that it might not be okay today, but you're going to get through it. You're going to see the rainbow on the end of at the end of this journey. And then, it's like having Vaseline on your eyes, and each day it gets clearer and clearer of your vision, of your why, of how you're going to progress, of your solution-based, formula that we offer. And being authentic along the way is what will give somebody hope. The moment I feel like somebody isn't being honest with me, I have a hard time relating, because I'm not trusting them. So then I don't want to do the work, And so if you can get them to believe in themselves and offer hope again, they have a chance. How can I make a difference best in this person's life? And I address it differently in every person that I overcome, because some people, like I said, some women, especially in recovery, they have lost their children, their husbands, everything. And then some of them just come in and like myself, I wanted to have support. I wanted that people love me, because I had been abused for so long. I had had that hatred in my life. I really needed people to hold my hand and be real with me. And that's what I received, and that's what I give back.
Excellent. Well, I think that your life journey has definitely prepared you to help people and to be the advocate and the guide to help them get from where they are to where they want to be. You have authored 4 books, and you are a blogger. So you've got a lot of ways for people to tap into your life experience and be able to benefit from that. What are you working on right now that's got you really excited?
I am currently working with a couple clients who have approached me on helping their clientele learn about new products and how those services are able to be monetized through my help. And because I'm knowledgeable, and it is in functional medicine, and which is the all natural, health approach. And so I am teaching their audience and engaging their audience in ways to use products that they believe in. And because I'm very creative, outside the box thinker, been a Huffington Post blogger, for a year and a half, I have the approach. Some people can just make the creation. Other people can do the follow through. And so for these companies, I'm creating the follow through for them, an avenue for the people that they are wanting to reach all over the globe in a holistic approach. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, how would our listeners who want to find out more about what you have to offer, how would they get in touch with you? What's the best way to reach you?
Please reach me on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Kelly, KELLY, Benamati, BENAMATI.
Very good. Facebook.com/Kelly.Benamati. Excellent.
Yes.
Well, this has been really inspiring, and I hope that it gives our listeners who may be struggling, going through some things, I hope it gives them hope that you really can live the life you want. But you're not going to get there overnight. You're not going to get there in one day, but that there are resources out there to help you, not just to build your business, but to build and rebuild, if necessary, your life. So this has been really good. Any final thoughts or words of wisdom that you'd like to share with our listeners before we wrap up?
Yes, I want you to create your vision of what your life looks like. Step into your power and take massive action for powerful results. And lastly, learn to ignore your haters, those people that do not believe in you, because you can do anything that you put your mind to when you mindfully manifest the results you desire.
Well, there you go. Words of wisdom, words to live by from Kelly Benamati. She is a holistic wellness and family solutions expert, and she is a behavioral specialist, a healing touch practitioner, author of 4 books. You can find out more. Just look her up on Facebook, facebook.com/kelly.benamati. Kelly, it's been really great to have you on the show. Thanks so much for sharing your experiences and your expertise with us, and best wishes to you on your journey.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I really appreciate it.
You've been listening to Rebelpreneur Radio with Ralph Brogden. Download the show notes and much more at ralphbrogden.com.